Hello, hello, everyone. This is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot doing a live today regarding the Tarot Study Group. We are wrapping up one deck and we are introducing another one. So definitely stay tuned for more. There's some exciting updates, and I do plan to keep this brief today. I promise you guys. All right, let's get this intro going here right now. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to just be looking at my notes, sharing a bunch of information. If you happen to be here in the chat, wonderful, yay. If not, you could leave a comment below on the replay if you catch the replay later, or if I'm gone, because I was on live yesterday and sometimes it burns me out. So I'm going to really try to stick to the plan of being concise. This is for informational purposes. Hi, Tarot Stash. So good to see you. Oh, cool. Okay. So you're listening in. Okay. Oh, nice. You have an afternoon live. I'll have to pop in over there. I'll have to pop in. So what we're doing today is talking about the tarot study group that I host here on the channel, but it turned out that it primarily ended up happening a lot in the Facebook group. I, going into this, had high hopes that I was going to be able to be on all platforms with it. Well, at least all of the platforms that I am a part of. I just like to show Tarot Stash some love here. um, And so I thought, oh, okay, well, I could do YouTube. That's one of my main platforms, but also Facebook. My Facebook group is another platform I'm on, and the Instagram. Well, I got pulled in so many different directions during the time of the Hoodoo Tarot study that it didn't quite work out that way as I hoped. So going forward into this next tarot study, I'm just going to be real with myself and just say, look, there's going to be content that's going up here on the channel, of course, but there's also where the work and the happenings are going on is in the Abundant Life Tarot group on Facebook. I think what I was really trying to do was appeal to people who aren't really fans of Facebook, and that's completely understandable. I totally get it, but it's just a great platform for such a thing as a tarot, like a book study or book club or tarot study for me, so that's just what it is. And I'm still going to be uploading content for this next tarot study going forward, but here on YouTube, but I've got to also cut myself some slack, right? Hello, Patrice. Thank you so much for joining today. So good to see you again. Hi. Oh, Myrna. Someone from the Facebook group and part of the tarot study. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy. I know Gerald is the bomb. Okay. Did you guys see the remix that he did with my name? I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. First of all, I love electronica dance music, like house music. Deep house music is my favorite. And I haven't heard in a while, being in a tropical island, to be honest. And I could listen to my own playlist, but I'm trying to, immerse myself into the culture. So to hear the remix yesterday, I was like, or not yesterday, it was this morning when I woke up. I was like, this is great. It's taking me back to my San Francisco days. So thank you, Gerald. You made my life right there. Oh, yay. I know. That was so good. Definitely check out Jen's Balanced Tarot. That was awesome. It was the Wisdom of the Shadow. And I think Jonathan Daly is also going to be interviewing the creators of that deck as well, if I'm not mistaken. Hello, MA. I'm so happy you are here. Thank you for supporting. I really appreciate you. All right, guys. So, y'all know we have been doing the Hoodoo Tarot study, and it was 12 long weeks, wasn't it? Now, the reason it was so long, I have to be honest. It was long because I have a lot going on in my own personal life, and I knew it was going to take me a while to record all of the majors in those videos, those little deep dives into the majors of the Hoodoo Tarot. I knew that. Um, oh, who else is here? Oh my gosh, is that Tangi Roman Biscotti made it? I just posted it. We gave her inspiration. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, y'all are too much. Yes, Jonathan's interview with Jenny and Jessica today at 2. Yay, okay, wow. There's a lot going on. So that's another reason why I'm gonna try and keep this live pretty short. So anyways, so 12 weeks is what I knew that I could possibly be able to do. Trying to carry a tarot study on my own is a lot of work that I found. I mean, I knew that from the Herb Crafters Tarot study, but because I didn't have like a lot of structure around the Herb Crafters Tarot, it didn't feel daunting to me at all. But I wanted to have more structure when I did the Hoodoo Tarot study. So each tarot study, I'm refining the process even more and getting more clear about how we want to move forward with it. So it was 12 weeks. Some people were like, that is way too long. So I get it. And the commitment, just so we're all clear, the commitment was not you had to do the full 12 weeks. It was a 2-week commitment of using the deck daily for 2 weeks, doing the journal prompts for just 2 weeks. It was only one journal prompt per week, really. So if you wanted to go and do extra, you certainly could. I committed to 12 weeks to pop in, and do what I could do, but I couldn't hang with doing daily draws with one deck for 12 weeks either. It's just a 2-week commitment from when you enter the tarot study. The tarot study is evergreen, meaning that if you picked up the Hoodoo Tarot next year and you join my Facebook group, or you come over here and you look at some of my playlists in the tarot study playlist on YouTube, you could then join in at any point and just do your commitment of time and be good. And there's tons of posts now in the Facebook group for the Hoodoo Tarot study. I think we're almost at like 400 posts. So you got all you need, okay? You got all you need. All you need. Hold on. Thank you, Tangi. You rock. Oh my gosh, you guys. That song, I'm gonna be over there. Now, it does make me blush because I'm like, there's attention on me. But I love it. I love the warm welcome. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'm gonna have to quit my day job just to keep up. Right? It's a lot of tarot too. Goodness. If I was still working my regular day job while y'all were on all the time, this would not be pretty. They would be saying, Kim, you need to come back into the office. I don't care what's going on in the world. You, ma'am, need to come back in the office. You are not focused. You're not focused. Thank you, Myrna. I love the 12 weeks too, because I also knew that some decks are going to warrant a longer tarot time study than others. I know me. And I know that if I was like, oh, it's just 2 weeks, or oh, it's a month, it's not going to be enough for me to really deep dive into a deck. Now, for some people, deep diving into a deck only entails a couple of weeks, a week maybe. For others, it takes a year. That's a little long for me. Some people, 6 months. You find your groove, and I love to be flexible. That's what I love about me doing this tarot study. Let's be flexible with the whole thing. But, I think people got lost in the notion, or the thought that it had to be a full 12 weeks that you're committing to it. No, it wasn't. It's just two weeks. So I just want to thank everyone who joined me during the Hoodoo Tarot study. I had so much fun. I learned so much. I have so many takeaways. I have my little journal here that's filled with so much of my outpouring to the questions that we have posed. Some of you guys put forth, like, you put forth your own journal prompts, your own spreads that you got from other places we were able to play with. You used the spreads that I came up with, the journal prompts that I put forth each week. And it was such a deep experience. As many of you guys know, or maybe you don't, I relocated from California to the Dominican Republic. And so I had to leave behind my, like, I didn't have to, but the ancestral, like, veneration or the ancestral spiritual practice that I had in place there back in the States was disrupted. And I used the Hoodoo Tarot back in the States to do some of my ancestral spiritual work. But it just felt disconnected. So the Hoodoo Tarot came at a perfect time where I'm just really learning myself in a whole new environment. I'm going through highs and lows of being in this new environment. And so to share this experience with you guys has been just beautiful. It really has. I don't know how it was for you all, but for me, it was transformative. And I'm just forever grateful. Okay, just forever grateful. Speaking of, I want to do some special thank yous real fast. Sarah Sullivan, you are awesome. I don't like to put everybody on blast, but she was early on. We had a couple of little hiccups that came up, and I was like, uh-oh. Like, I'm not saying her, it wasn't her, but she supported me when I was like, oh, where I first had to kind of do a moderator, like when you're in a Facebook group or if you're on YouTube, like in chats and you're a moderator role and where you actually have to like moderate. And so she was so supportive. She sent a message to me, just giving me a little support when I had to be like, ooh, you guys cannot, print up whole books and put them into the group. That is, for me, as someone who, writers mean a lot to me. Creators mean a lot to me, and respecting their work is super important. And so I was like, oh God. And and so she was super supportive. Maybe she could feel that I was like struggling with that, and she was super kind about that. And I was just so appreciative. But also what she did was and I hate to put her on the spot, but I have to give folks recognition. She gave a little donation to me. Actually, it was huge to me. But I'm trying to not like put her all on blast, but I have to say thank you. She did not have to do that. She didn't have to send me a private message. She didn't have to donate to what I was doing, but she did. And I appreciate this. I do this out of sharing from the goodness of my heart because I just enjoy tarot so much. And I just want to share. But yeah, that donation came when I was feeling really low about the contributions that I'm doing here. Sometimes I'm like, am I wasting my time? Is this something that I should just let go? And it was just like, thank you. So I want to say thank you to her. I also want to have a huge thank you go out to my Facebook group, Peeps. You guys are amazing. You guys are what makes it fun for me and why I think we have such a beautiful energy going on there. So, yeah, I appreciate that. And also, I want to give special shout outs. If you see the little ticker tape down below, those are my most active members in the Facebook group. And I thought it was appropriate to put it here in this YouTube live stream, because each of you all do so much in the Facebook group, and I appreciate it. I really, really do. So thank you for your contributions. Yeah, me too, Tarot Stash. It's just so soul nurturing. I left. Let's be honest. I left Christianity, but I'm a spiritual person. And so there was like a kind of a gaping hole in my spirituality, even though I practice what's called like science of mind, or, you know, the new thought movement. That's something that's near and dear to me, another practice. But as far as spiritual practices, there was a gaping hole. And what filled me up and what has been filling me up is honoring my ancestors. And it is a beautiful place for me to be. And so, yeah, it's super important. So, yeah, let's keep going here. All right, so I'm hoping that in the comments or in the chat or in the comments later, if you're watching this on replay, if you want to share what came up for you during this time that we worked with the Hoodoo Tarot Study, I'd love to hear from you. In the Facebook group as well, would love to hear any thoughts you have. Also, any hopes for what you want to see going forward in the next tarot study. I'm all ears. This is even though I'm leading it, this is a collective process, so we all can enjoy and benefit from it. So yeah. Okay. Now, we did a vote. We voted on what is going to be the next deck for our tarot study. And I found out that in doing so, there's a lot of folks who don't like this deck, don't like that deck. And there were some suggestions of decks that I don't own. And what I want to say about the ones that I don't own is that, you know, I live on an island. It's kind of challenging for me to order decks. It's not impossible, but it takes time. And then there are some instances where things get lost, and I would, you know, I have to, in order to lead a tarot study, I have to own the deck at this point. Not to say that those decks that were suggested that I don't own won't be in a future tarot study. It's just that how everything is playing out, you know, I don't have it, so I can't lead it. Which leads me to another announcement that we'll be making later on. But yeah, the next deck, do you guys have any guesses on what deck was the one that won? I did a poll, a voting poll in both the Facebook group and on YouTube. I decided not to do it on Instagram because I wasn't sure of anybody who's really doing the tarot study there. And I'll admit, I wasn't really posting regularly there like I would have liked. So I did it across YouTube and Facebook, and yeah, it was running close. It was running close. But the announcement is, it will be, you guys probably already know, it will be the Antique Anatomy Tarot. You probably already saw this. It will be this one. Now, I know that there are folks who are not a fan of this deck. I get it. There were folks who weren't a fan of the other decks that were on the list. I totally get it. What I have always emphasized, though, is that if you don't want to use the deck, or you don't own this deck, for example, don't feel like you need to run out and get this deck. Use a deck you already have. That is completely okay, completely fine. Please, please, please do not go out and feel the need to buy decks that you aren't really called to buy. That goes against everything that I've been preaching all this time, right? You know, with the Choosing Your Next Deck, Curating Your Collection course, the free course on my site, where I'm encouraging you guys to be more mindful about your additions to your collection. So I design the tarot study so that way anyone could use any deck they choose. Now, the reason why I'm excited about this deck, I'm going to tell you why, is because it's PIP, and I am dying to get into a PIP deck. There's a lot of learning that can happen with the deck. I've already got like probably about 10 to 12 video ideas just for PIP just for working with this deck. This is a Victorian era deck. It's another reason why I like it. It's very fall-ish, autumn, autumn feel for those in the northern hemisphere. So I like that. I think a lot of my other PIP decks are still in the States at my parents' house. So this is the one that I was like, okay, well, I have a PIP deck. I think the Tarot of the Mystical Moments and the Dream Keepers Tarot were also ones that were close calls to winning. I think it was even a tie with the Tarot of Mystical Moments and the Antique Anatomy in the Facebook group. But the tiebreaker was YouTube. The votes, so since there was a tie, I had to see which one I had to go with. And I'm excited because I've already came out with some ideas. Things are going to be a little differently with this tarot study. It's going to be shorter. It's only going to be 2 months or 8 weeks long. It's not going to be 12 weeks. I will be deep diving into the majors, but we're going to do them on lives, and I'm going to break it up for 7 cards or so. It's like 7 cards per live I'm going to try and aim for. They're going to be lives. I want to use the next tarot study as an opportunity to dive into numerology in tarot. I want to go into color references. I want to talk about all that good stuff that can come with PIP. I have ideas. I have lots of ideas. So yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. Hold on. Let me make sure I stay. Let me make sure. Okay, so that's the tarot announcement. I hope I'm not disappointing folks, but please, if you want to participate in the tarot study, bring a deck of your choice. You totally can. I think that a PIP deck would be really good. One that even has a couple of different colors and things within the minors. That's going to be fun to play around with. Here, let me tell you some of the ideas that I'm having for videos. So as opposed to how I did the Hercrafters Tarot and the Hoodoo Tarot study, where I did videos throughout the majors, I want to change it up because I need to change it up. I'm a content creator. It's fun for me to have change. So obviously we're going to do a grand opening, a launch date, probably sometime in early October, like I want to say October 4th. I want to say October 1st. I think it's October 1st is when this kicks off. We're going to do a brief history of tarot. That's going to be a video that I'm going to do bite-sizable. It's not going to be some long drawn-out video because I just don't feel like doing it. Like I mentioned before, numerology in the tarot, companion cards in the tarot, the guidebook highlights and must-sees suggestions. I might do that one very early on in the tarot study. Like I might record that in the next couple of weeks. This is a great guidebook, by the way. Another criteria that I have to have in a tarot study has to happen because part of the tarot study is studying the book, and the book needs to be good. So this is another reason why this went on the list. We will also be talking about the elements in the tarot. I already mentioned that the colors, ways of using the tarot. There's many different ways. They mentioned some here in this guidebook, and I have a couple of additional ideas. And yeah. And then of course I might do a mid check-in, like I did a midpoint check-in with you guys. See how you guys are doing during the tarot study, but it will be shorter, but it'll be 8 weeks. So it's still not terribly short, but it's not terribly long. So yay, I'm excited about it. I'm really, really, really excited about this tarot study. This is the first PIP deck that we're deep diving into. So that's another reason why I'm excited. So, let's see. Let's see what MA says. That's a great idea. I'll pick something I already own that has pips. Exactly. Please do, because you know it'll be fun. Is for those who are coming to the tarot study with a different deck, they can offer a different perspective and a different take on it than how the Antique Anatomy is presenting it. Yeah, I know that I'm modeling the tarot study like a book club, and so in a book club, you would all be reading the same book and talking and discussing the same book. Yes, but I didn't take the entire inspiration. Just it just was some of the inspiration from a book club. Okay, so yay! Please, please do. I encourage that strongly. You heard it here. And if you hear people saying, oh, she's just doing that deck, please let them know in the groups that you're in. No, you can come along with your said deck, your chosen deck. I suppose that if you didn't want to work with a pip deck, you certainly could use a fully illustrated deck. But I think it would be fun to dive into a pip this time around. We're going to have plenty of opportunities, by the way, to dive into fully illustrated decks. That's what I love. But yeah. Okay. So what we're going to be doing for this next tarot study, I made some notes here. I love the participation we have with the Hoodoo Tarot study, so let's keep that up. Post to each other's posts. That's always fun. That's how we learn and grow and get inspired. We're still going to do the 2-week commitment daily pull, whether you pull one card or you do a full-on spread. That is completely up to you. You are free to just take pictures. You're free to just do a written post. You are free to do a video. You could do a video and, do like, let us know so I could put it out there on my community tab and let others see it, like on YouTube or on Facebook, so just continue to participate like you did before. And it's just a 2-week commitment. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the journal, weekly journal prompts this time around. We'll see. The Hoodoo Tarot study really lent itself to that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that for this next one. So if you guys want to do journal prompts, let me know. Let me know, and then I'll see what I can come up with. What else? This one, okay. Interior decks. So for future tarot studies, the ones that I'm leading, I created a little quick form on my website, and I even created a category at the top so you could just click there. You could submit suggestions for decks there. People were suggesting decks all over my social media platforms, which I appreciate, but it was hard for me to when did I get that one? What? Where is that one? So I want to keep it all in one spot so that way when it's time to vote for another deck, then I have a list. And it gives me time, there's been some great suggestions of decks that I don't own, but it gives me time to determine whether or not I want to add the suggested deck to my collection. And then I need to work with it a little bit before I go ahead and lead a tarot study for it. So it gives me time. So I'm asking you all to submit that early on. No, don't wait till right before, because that doesn't give me an opportunity to buy the deck. It takes a while to get here. Sometimes it's quick to ship, and quick I mean by 2 weeks, 1.5 to 2 weeks. And then sometimes it's not. It just all depends. So I need time. That's all I'm asking for, y'all. All right, so let's see. Hold on. Myrna says, sounds absolutely awesome. I love the tarot prompts. Okay, good. Okay, that's good for me to hear. I don't know usually what people are wanting, so that is good to know. And I'm a writer, actually probably first before I ever was doing tarot. Okay, so I love if you guys don't know this by me, I know this about me by now, I love to write. I'm very long-winded when it comes to writing. So coming up with some prompts, I probably could do that. I probably could do that. Hi, Nomi. I'm so happy you are here. Oh, yeah, you made another one. Let's see. Would you ever consider running a tarot book study? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I actually would. And I am even open. Let me actually say this. We could even have the tarot study form open up to books you guys want me to dive into. I actually only have like a couple of books left in the United States at my parents' house. I had to sell a lot of them or donate them or give them away to move. So because I want to live abroad for a bit. So um, I don't have a lot, but if you guys give me notice, I could either get the book on Kindle or Barnes and Nobles. I have both a e-reader with Barnes and Nobles and a Kindle. So I could get it digitized, or if it's not digitized, it'll give me time to order and have the book come to me. So yay, I would totally be open to that. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a great question. It's a great question. I would be open to a tarot book study. I think that would be fun and very, I would think, helpful for our community. So yeah. Okay, so let's see what we got. Next study plans, we kind of talked about it. We're going to have an opening day live stream, more to come. We already mentioned that about the majors being through a live stream versus video. Because I need to change. I need to change. Y'all need to change. And I did put this occasional journal and tarot spread prompts. So I will pop on some. It may not be every week, but we will have some things that we can work with to journal or throw some cards. Sometimes I just take journal prompts and I use those prompts as my prompt for a tarot reading. I'll read it, ponder over it, and then see what cards jump, because you guys know I love jumping cards. When I shuffle, we see what cards jump. Let's see. What is this? I can't even understand my own handwriting. Daily or weekly card study. Oh, there I know what that is. Daily or weekly card study. So towards the end of the Hoodoo Tarot study, watching the time, towards the end of the Hoodoo Tarot study, hold on. Can you please say again which deck I chose? Okay, it's the Antique Anatomy Tarot. And what I also mentioned about this is that if you don't have this deck, or if you don't like it, you have it, but you don't want to work with it, you can work with any deck that you'd like. And I would suggest it be a pip deck, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to stick to that, but I thought it would be interesting and fun. I'm actually excited to see what decks people bring forth to this next tarot study, if it's not this one. But this is the main one I'm going to be working with. This is the one that won the vote. Technically, YouTube broke the tie because it was a tie in the Facebook group. So towards the end of the Hoodoo Tarot study, I started doing these weekly card draws, and I was like, I actually really like this. I love, I think Aunt in our Facebook group, and Okimama, that's what she goes by here on YouTube. But they were actively responding to those little prompts where I take a picture of the card and I say, let's talk about this particular card in depth, what comes up for us, even just looking at the images and seeing what it evokes inside of us, what comes of it. So I decided for the minors that I am going to put a minor per day during the duration of the tarot study. That's how we're going to cover the minors. I didn't really cover all the minors in the Hoodoo Tarot study like I wanted to, but you know, it is what it is. But the last week of the Hoodoo Tarot study, I started doing the card pulls daily versus weekly, and I enjoyed it. I really did. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm looking at the card like close up on the image on Facebook on my computer. I'm like, oh, I'm taking in so much more information than I did even just holding my hand. Maybe I need my readers. I think my eyeballs are starting to get old. Because sometimes I'm like doing that whole bit. So yes, I've been collecting her Memento Mori cards, so this is great, very good for the fall season too. That's what I thought, and so I fell in love with the Memento Mori uh, and marrying it with the Hoodoo Tarot. And that reminds me, next Monday, I am going to be visiting. I'm going to be a guest on Dragorsi's Tarot's channel. And she's inviting me on. We're going to chat about probably a myriad of things. But the main topic we're going to be diving into is the decks we use for our ancestral work. And so I'm going to talk during that time next week on the 6th of September about the decks that I use, not just the Hoodoo Tarot, but other decks I use, the Oracle decks that I use with the Hoodoo Tarot, and why, and go through some of the cards. So we'll be doing that. So please support her channel, support me, and check that out. I'm super excited to be over there on her channel. Yay! So, or she is having me over, and I'm excited. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun with this next tarot study, and it won't be super long. I mean, it's longish, but we are gonna do a wrap party. I like a wrap party. This isn't really a wrap party. I had to kind of combine things today for time's sake. We had a proper Herb Crafters Tarot study wrap party, so yeah, we'll do it proper in the next one. Please share. Share about the tarot study. Share within the group different ideas you've got. Share your pulls. I love. It's like you can learn so much from how people interpret the cards in the capacity that we were doing that in the Hoodoo Tarot study. It was beautiful. And so if you're new to tarot or if you're seasoned, there is something to be gained by working in this way with each other. And it got personal and deep too. So, there's that. Oh, yes. Oh, I hope you're able to join. I hope, because it's going to be fun. I decided not to do that today for time's sake. And she mentioned it. She was like, do you want to chat about this? For the topic. Actually, our topic, just so you know, was going, like we had talked about this a couple of months ago, I think. Maybe just a month, I can't remember now, about law of attraction and tarot. And it's something I'm passionate about, law of attraction and obviously tarot. But then I saw yesterday, I think, Mitchell Osborne's channel. He's going to be talking about that on September 4th. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be redundant. And I really enjoy his content. And so I was like, ooh, I sent her a message like, is there something else we should chat about? And so then she mentioned this topic. And I was like, this is perfect. So I can take all my decks and start showing them to you guys because I love doing that. Let's see. I think that's it. The tools that we will have available is the schedule. I like having kind of a rough schedule. I'm talking about it with you guys today here. The tracking log is going to be updated, shortened to 8 weeks, and probably more little blank spaces that you can put in on what you did. I just like looking at my little tracking log and seeing all the work I did. I mean, obviously, I know the work I did. I created the tarot study, but it's just so gratifying to see, like I did a little form in the little spreadsheet. I'm like, oh, look all the work I did. Look all the work I did. So I want that for you guys too, if you so choose to use it. It's not a requirement. In the Hoodoo Tarot study, we curated as a group a beautiful list of books, recommendations, resources, whether it was fiction or nonfiction, to support the Hoodoo Tarot study work we were doing. And I pinned that list to the top of the Facebook group. So good. So much good reading there. Some very knowledgeable folks in our group gave the thumbs up to some, to the books, and they gave their own recommendations. So I'm hoping to come up with something like that for this tarot study, whether it's pip deck recommend, like guidebook recommendations or other inspiration. It could be fiction from the Victorian era. I don't know. Whatever you feel called to, and I will compile the list, or we can have one thread that we pin to the top so people can be inspired that way as well. So I'm excited about that. So those are the tools that we'll be using. That's going to be it. Oh, let's see. That sounds awesome. I just ordered a book for working with ancestors plus tarot. I'll watch you on Orsi's channel for sure. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure she will be coming up with a thumbnail and the time. I know we have the time, but we have quite a bit of a time difference. So I've already forgotten. She'll just tell me when to show up and I'll show up. So what's new? Because I'm trying to be mindful of the time. You guys have been wonderful. What's new related to the tarot study groups? So I already mentioned the form. I'm going to be using that form for now. Upcoming new deck suggestions, right? Please submit as you think of them. Just go to my website. It's at the top. You won't be able to miss it. Book recommendations, tarot book recommendations, even if it's memoir, it's okay. We could do memoir. You know how there's some folks who are tarot readers who wrote memoirs. There's guidebooks. There's all sorts of content that we can put there. Also, it's an opportunity for you to offer up suggestions for what you want to see for future studies, okay? There's a box for that. So please utilize that. The other exciting bit of news, and I am so thrilled about, and I should have probably shared it earlier, is members of the Facebook group or actually just members, because you may not be part of the Facebook group, that's fine. But members can start their own mini tarot study groups in the main group or what have you. So what that would look like, and there's already been someone who says, well, can we do like the uncommon tarot? Could we have a mini tarot study going on? And so I'm like, well, yeah, if there's interest, if folks want to do a mini tarot study alongside what I'm doing, that is perfectly okay. I have the uncommon tarot. I'll probably pop in and be able to work with that alongside with you all and support in any way that I can. I'll lead the main tarot study, but I thought, wow, this is going to be so much fun for those who maybe want to do like a 2-week mini tarot study, or maybe they do it for a month or however long the person sees fit. You don't have to do it as long as I do, or you could do it short, or you could have just one particular activity, but we call them like the mini deck studies. So I am super duper excited about that, because if you need a break from the main deck that we're using, this is the opportunity to do it. If you want to get your feet wet in leading a tarot study with my help, I'm learning myself, so we can learn together, then this is the space to do it. So I thought this would be great, because let's share the love. I don't want to be the only voice out there talking all day. I get tired of it. I want to listen sometimes. So yeah. Yes. So that is the update. So the new things, like I mentioned before, was the deck form and the mini deck studies. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at abundantlifetarot@gmail.com, or you could click on that little form to ask questions there. You could use it for that purpose, or you can, if you're part of the Facebook group, you can ask questions there. I caution folks to send me messages through Facebook, because sometimes if I get so many notifications, not just from my Facebook group, and I don't get much from you guys, but like my Facebook page, also my personal Facebook, it just gets lost in the shuffle, and then I end up missing it. So I don't want to miss it. So if you have questions, the best way to reach out to me is abundantlifetarot@gmail.com, or the form, or comments in the YouTube, the videos. I'm trying to be much better about making sure I respond promptly or as timely as I can to your comments and questions on the videos on YouTube. So yeah, I think I covered everything. I think it's a lot, but I wanted to make sure we've got it all dialed in. We got a new deck, folks, that we are deep diving into, for better or for worse. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see what comes up for us next on this next little tarot study journey. So yeah, do you guys have any questions for me at this point? I'm going to not keep you too long. I'm going to definitely, because I want to make sure that we can join other live streams that are going on today. Today's the 31st, so I'd imagine there's going to be a lot more going on. But I appreciate your time. I do. I really do. So, yeah, let me see. I think that's it. Just to be clear, Antique Anatomy Tarot. I'm going to be calling it the AAT for short. This is a deck by Claire Goodchild. I own the Oracle of Oddities, all 3 editions, I think, of the Oracle of Oddities. So I'll probably be using that Oracle with this deck, but mainly the Memento Mori. Oh my gosh, I love the Memento Mori Oracle. It's a Lenormand and Oracle. It's like the first 36 cards is the Oracle, and then the remaining cards, it's a chunky deck. The remaining cards are Oracle cards, and I am in love. I'm in love. Oh, let's see. Oh, no, me. No questions, just admirations. Thanks for all you do for the community. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the folks who are also contributing to our community so generously. That's how I learned the cards and getting comfortable with reading. And so I just like to find ways to help folks, new and seasoned, so yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you for saying that too. Thank you, Ken, for making the tarot study so engaging and welcoming, and for all your work. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And I was just going through a slump, y'all. If you watched my live yesterday about, I think energetically, I was just drained from, so much that really didn't have anything to do with the work that I'm putting out for my content. It had a lot to do with a lot of other factors. And then, you just feel like, oh God, what am I doing with my life? Yay, Myrna, I'm so glad that you're excited. I'm excited too. We're gonna have a great time. So, well, with that being said, I wrap this up faster than I normally do on these live streams. So if you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. And yeah, let's do this. Let's have a great, great time with this next tarot study. It is about learning, growing, sharing, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll see you guys around, especially in that Facebook group. That's my happy space in place. All right, guys, I'm going to end the broadcast, and much, much, much love to all of you. And we will connect soon. Take care. Oh, don't forget, I'll be over at Drew Gorsey's Tarot next week. So next Monday. And yeah, that's about it. Bye, guys. Take good care of yourselves. See you all around. See you probably in the next live stream that's being hosted. I know I need to be working, but I'll probably be over there too.